Mahamudu Bawumia will walk with 56.8%. Kennedy Japan will walk with 40.3%. The rest of the candidates will share 2.9%. Something is going to happen tomorrow. The monies they are sharing. Kennedy Japan, when you bring in a margin of error, he might lose 3 points. He might drop to 37%. And that 37%, because that's 3%, Bawumia betuma fabi. And at 2.9 for betuma fabi. So technically, it will either boost Bawumia or boost the 2.9. Probability that Mahamudu Bawumia might also lose 3% or add 3% is high. That would be Kennedy bet drop number. It is the money they are sharing tonight, and no one bit to drop Kennedy number. The monies they are pumping tonight into the system, the Bawumia group. That is the only money a bit to me exchange Kennedy numbers like a crabby. We have our team on the ground. The Bawumia team and the Kennedy team, they are really paying money. Brand Champon is paying money. But the amount of money Bawumia is pumping into the system and agree against the Ochinano panel, it is crazy. Yeah, the Obia results are ABC Ochina Evertoha. This is the moment and this is the time. Ghana for this platform we control. Yebe ende careers baby. Posters be careers be ende and a year asofo be so careers no ebe ende because the ebe no ha nyumre e bin si da. And remember, I want to take you guys back a little bit. I remember in 2023. Thank you very much, team. In 2023, me catch Ghana for any NPP for say the NDC they were going to win the elections from the Ashanti region. Before that, from 2022, near Juma, we had people on the ground. We were doing serious research. We never mentioned to anybody. We spent close to $250,000 to do that. We had people, volunteers, who wanted to work for us. And you know the funny thing? We proved to Ghanaians at the end of the day, the first platform I call it the elections, the results in Ghana. And you understand? Because there was a lot of work that went into it. Now, I was Ghana for TBBA say, when it comes to election prediction and putting out results of elections, and yet a one-day thing, and yet just going out there and talking to one or two people, it takes a long time to get it right. You need to put a lot of investment into it. Now, NPP for primaries way, it has become very delicate. The reason is that Sika edienim eche nyansa. And in every election, bia Sika bedienim eche eja nyansa no. Now, the people voting, they don't vote as wise people. They vote like sheep. They vote like imwa. So it becomes difficult to predict how the elections will go. And in the NPP especially, elections are difficult to predict because majority of the people on the party, highest form of education, JSS. Secondly, they cannot read, they cannot understand, and they don't understand what the message is. And to say, wako NPP fomu, no waka say, give me one policy. All that they know is what can the word policy, but they don't even understand what comes together to form a policy. It's basically like you standing in the zoo and telling all animals in the zoo to vote for you. Obuha obetwama because ono openam. Obuha obetwama because ono opese yekunu deni otwen bi ni kwan. There are so many reasons. Very difficult to analyze an NPP voter because one, they are not intelligent enough to understand. Say also mutie asamono ansana omo make a decision. Majority of them they are part of the party because of tribal move. Into also there is a 70% of them a Jimmy Adjuni, a tribe Adjuni, and yet about what you tell them. 30% now can a interest. Saying a menya t-shirt, gele, a mukonko. So such group of their political insects are very difficult to predict how they will reason. I hope you are following me. When it comes to NPP primaries, and you being a pollster, you being a bishop, you being a what, trying to predict it, you need to put in a lot of work. You need to put in a lot of work. Because I can just say, oh, wait there, omokotwaba, no way the omni nyansa, ometuni say, we are kasem say, into omunchi nyansa, omuni nyansa. So it's very difficult. And intina, we took our time. The day from June or July, I'm going to say, presidential primaries abano January. No, that is when we started investing in this year primaries. Now, we are talking about 211 delegates. Me show with Juma ya be do this point. Me wear this segment pay my pong. Yes, because secretary koso anadwimi no ka say they are still paying money. Bawumia is paying. Kennedy is paying a little bit, but Bawumia is paying a lot. Bawumia has money. Now, we are talking about a Juma ya number chiro. We knew say NPP for 211,000 delegates. 211,000 delegates. So we asked ourselves, how are we going to reach every single delegate? Yeah, got 211,000 delegates. We are talking about 276 constituencies. Now, we don't want to be speculating. We don't want to look like, say, nipa answer. We wanted to get to the bottom and know the real numbers. So, we decided, say, we were going to follow every single delegate and every single candidate. How are we going to do that? It's cash intensive. We are looking somewhere around $900,000. When it comes to the United States, there are so many agencies here who are willing to give you money to go and conduct these kind of polls. They are there, plenty. So we put everything together and said, this is what we are going to do. We are going to change the dynamics when it comes to election results, election polling. We were going to go deeper than any pollster will go. So this is what we did. We got 20 people in each constituency. 20. In the 276 constituencies around the nation, you have 20 volunteers. 20. And those people, we made sure none of them was a member of the NDC. We made sure these were ordinary people, and some of them even have affiliation to the NPP. Into every constituency, we had 20 people there, stationed there. In fact, we picked them from that constituency because we wanted people who live in the constituency. Now, when you calculate 20 by 76 constituencies, we recruited 5,520 people. 5,520 people. These were volunteers. They signed a contract with us that they are going to volunteer. We were going to pay them, each person, a year 250 Ghana cedis a month. 250 Ghana cedis a month. Now, this is what we did. We also picked 20 people to follow the 5 candidates, Into every candidate, we had 20 people following them everywhere they went in Ghana. Baby, I'm going campaign biano. Near 20 people who infiltrated the party grounds. Into near 20 people following Canada Japan around the nation. Baby, stop over. We had our people there. We had a bus. Sometimes they go there before Kennedy gets there. They get there before Bawumia gets there. They go in there as ordinary people and they pick out every single delegate to talk to. Technically, we had 100 people who were assigned to a candidate. Every candidate had 20 following them around the nation. But every constituency also had 20 seated in the constituency looking for the delegate in that constituency. Constituency, we were able to reach them in their farms. We were able to reach them in their markets. And we did not go there as posters or anything. They had a way of talking to them for them to basically tell them where they want to vote, who they want to vote for, and why. And before we left every single delegate, we knew about 80% where that delegate's vote was going to go. We had 20 times 276 constituencies. That was 5,520 people. We have 20 following each candidate. That is 100 people. We had 5,620 people. And these people worked for 7 months. 5,620 people, they worked for 7 months. Now, we spent 250 Ghana cedis on each volunteer every single month. we ended up spending 9.83 million Ghana cedis on this project. 9.8 million cedis. In dollar terms, approximately $900,000 miscellaneous gone. That is how much we spent on this primaries. There's a reason why we did that. I was doing this, or I did this because I wanted to send a message to the NDC and those who want to lead the NDC and people who think they are ripe to be NDC leaders. I want to send a message to them. So this is how we did our polls. This is how we were able to get our numbers. Now, we are going to go into the numbers. Team. Okay. Now, I'm going to show you the numbers. What is happening now in Ghana is that last week, the whole of last week, I was in Ghana. The whole of last week. Last week, Friday, I was on a flight that same night. And I came to Ghana. Because I had to come and take the executive report. Because they had done everything. They had to hand over the report to me. So I had to meet all my team to take the report. That is why I was in Ghana last week. And I came to Ghana last week to take the report. From July, ABC, a year this month. Now, this is how it's going to look. And let me tell you one thing. NPP 4, from what we are getting tonight, any Ochinano, there's a lot of shifts in the numbers. The reason is simple. The Bawumia group, they are a little bit nervous. They are pumping a lot of money. But you see, changes never bano any drastic. Changes never bano any over 3%. Take and put this on record. We have our team on the ground. The Bawumia team and the Kennedy team, they are really paying money. Brand Champon is paying money. But the amount of money Bawumia is pumping into the system and agree against the Ochinano panel, it is crazy. And what they are doing is, they are not so sure about some of the delegates. They are not so convinced. So now, delegates be over about 70%, only too convinced, they need to make sure 30% more than in the Sika to get you to vote for Bawumia. And see, the last checks we did this afternoon, the scale, the numbers, they keep shaking a little bit. And to me, making any significant change, it's going to stay within 3%. Into the numbers we are going to put on the screen tonight, these numbers, margin of error, is going to be within 3%. And there's going to be nothing a bit change here. It is going to stay within these numbers. It can never go above these numbers. Say, most platform me in your the Ochina Montoa Baniwiano number one say I control the destiny of the NPP. Now, numbers now Obabehuno. I know so many people who say, it is never possible. It is possible. Rigging and let me say this, there will be a lot of rigging tomorrow. There will be a lot. Ochina rigging because big time. And numbers some of the better on and numbers are. I catch them say, we are going to stay within margin of error of 3. Now, this is how it's going to look tomorrow. And Obia Enkati Peace we. And the date is saying, and the 30th of January 2026. Numbers I'm the better no. Remember be a review. These are numbers that will reflect tomorrow after the NPP primaries. Okay. This is how it's going to look like tomorrow. Margin of error +3 - 3. Mahmoud Bawumia will walk with 56.8%. Mahmoud Bawumia will walk with 56.8%. Kennedy Japan will walk with 40.3%. Listen to me very well. The rest of the candidates will share 2.9%. Ochina, after the results, Mahamudu Bawumia will walk home with 56.8%. Remember, margin of error, +3 -3. Kennedy Ejapon will walk with 40.3%. The rest of the candidates will walk with 2.9%. They will share 2.9%. Now, something is going to happen tomorrow. The monies they are sharing, Kennedy Ejapon, when you bring in a margin of error, he might lose 3 points. He might drop to 37%. And that 37%, because that's 3%, Bawumia betuma fabi. And at 2.9 for betuma fabi. So technically, it will either boost Bawumia or boost the 2.9. Now, probability that Mahamudu Bawumia might also lose 3% or add 3% is high. But they are all going to stay within. If Kennedy, if the margin of error we are going to put in here, Kennedy might drop to 37%, but the likelihood of Kennedy going over 40% is not possible. Mahamudu Bawumia can move to 59%. He can move to 58.3%. Mahamudu Bawumia could also drop 3%. That's why I'm saying the margin of error is 3. But the number we are looking at, Ochina, for Mahamudu Bawumia is 56.8. That is our solid number. The number we are looking for Kennedy Ejapon is 40.3. And I've checked all the polls in Ghana. Obiani Wauma Kennedy Ejapon, a dog chance of even getting 40%. Kennedy will get 40%. That will be Kennedy bed dropping number. It is the money they are sharing tonight, and no one bit drop Kennedy number. The monies they are pumping. The monies they are pumping tonight into the system, the Bawumia group, that is the only money a bit me exchange Kennedy numbers like a crabby. But no, because the margin of error no, margin of error +3 -3. We are looking at Mahamudu Bawumia. Bawumia not crossing 58%. He can't. He can't cross 57%. That is what is going to happen tomorrow. Ochina date here, 31st of January 2026. Ochina by 6 p.m. You will come back to this number. You'll be shocked. We are talking about 50 + 1. Mahamudu Bawumia will make 56.8. And 56.8, my catch said there's a 3% chance to say it could go up, it could go down. Kennedy, 3% chance to go up or go down. So we are looking at numbers that will fluctuate. And I agree, the numbers keep moving a slower form, but it is not significant. It is not going to change significantly. It is going to stay here. As much as Makacha must say, no message, and then I agree, they have resorted to paying and bribing. Yes. So I get it. So the Bawumia team, the Kennedy team, they know what I'm talking about. This is how it's going to play out. It does not matter. And to me, change it. And I know say no pollster has given Kennedy Ejapon even over 35%. No pollster in Ghana. Any research near we know Kennedy is going to cross 40%. He's going to get 40.3%. The worst for Kennedy will be 37%. The worst for Kennedy is going to be 37%. And Ochina, we will be here. Ochina Ebabaha. We are not going to go anywhere. We are going to come show you these same numbers. I wouldn't even show you. You people will say numbers in here. And then I make sure say +3 -3 is what we are looking at. And sir, +3 -3, the money they are sharing tonight. I still have team on the ground. I still have people working. I still have people monitoring. The 3 now Makano, Brian Champon, Kobne Japan, and a country, they are going to share 2.9%. Omako Monima 3.1% no meet my share. They cannot go beyond that. That is where they will stay. I'm not kidding you. They are going to share money. A lot of money is going on. They are sharing. A lot of sharing is going on. And there's something I want to do. We are going to end tonight's show here. We are going to put this numbers out. We are still going to go down to work. I need some briefing. Some briefing is supposed to be done in the next hour. And they made to my end say, I'm leaving you with this number. Mahmoud Bawumia will make 56.8%. Kennedy Japan will make 40.3%. The rest will share 2.9. Marginal error. Plus 3 minus 3 can come in. Kennedy might drop to 37%. Mahmoud Bawumia, so bet drop a cry. It is not going to be more than 3%. Mahmoud Bawumia, so bet Nima is not going to be more than 3%. Kennedy Beko Nima, it is not more than 3%. They will all linger around this number. This is what is going to happen tomorrow. Obia Canadian, me say from Ochina, so many careers will end from tomorrow morning. And this is the number, Ochina. Obia Behu.